Make disciples and don't lose your head. There was a very powerful king whose empire encompassed the territory of Israel and reached its peak in the 6th century BC. His name was Nebuchadnezzar, and anyone who has read the first 4 chapters of the book of Daniel is aware of this man's power and eccentricities. It was Nebuchadnezzar's army that was responsible for the destruction of the temple built by Solomon and the exile of thousands of Israelites. In the first chapter of Daniel, we have the account of a selection of young men of noble lineage for a 3-year training in order to become an elite of servants for the king's court. Nebuchadnezzar's chief eunuch, Ashpenaz, was given the responsibility of overseeing the training. It was to him that Daniel asked permission not to eat the food provided by the king. Ashpenaz's response to Daniel is no exaggeration. "If you make a bad impression on the king, my head will be cut off." Daniel 1 verse 10. We are also in the service of a king, in fact, the King of Kings. He has earned or purchased, not with silver or gold, the right to have an elite of servants. Every pastor or leader of a local church is a type of Ashpenaz, a servant imbued with an enormous responsibility to train others so that they may acquire nobility from heaven, wisdom from heaven, character as citizens of heaven, and be able to serve the king faithfully. And our king is also demanding. Was he joking when he said that it would be better to tie a millstone to it and throw it into the sea than to hinder the walk of an inexperienced person in the faith? If you are a pastor or leader in the Lord's church, your job is similar to that of Ashpenaz, to take care of the food that the king's servants receive. In Daniel 1 verse 5, we have the account of delicacies and wine coming directly from the king's table for the servants. They would have 3 years to eat and drink the best that Babylon had to offer. In the church, our responsibility is to serve spiritual food from the Lord's table. The words of eternal life, the teaching that shapes character, the word that grounds and strengthens. We are the Ashpenazes responsible for whetting the appetite, for training our disciples to appreciate and prefer the noble food from the Lord's table. Like Ashpenaz, we must be able to read the features of our disciples' faces. The text of Daniel 1 tells us that the chief of the eunuchs paid attention to the features of both Daniel and his friends. After 10 days, he realized that their features were good. Every disciple maker needs to develop the skills to identify features in the faces and attitudes of the disciples. One more detail, Ashpenaz was a eunuch. Being a eunuch was a prerequisite for working in that environment and on that mission, because being a eunuch was a guarantee that the focus of the servant's life was to obey his master. There are many who stray from faithfulness because they lose focus on obedience and holiness. Immorality and greed are traps that many fall into. Be careful of what distracts you and takes your attention away from the priority of your life, the Lord. May you be an excellent trainer of a team of servants for the King of Kings. May the disciples grow and be empowered through your ministry to serve with nobility, faithfulness, honor, and glory. Thank you, my God. May peace be with you.